So we begin with Matthew 14:20 to 31, which reads, "When the disciples saw him walking on the lake, they were terrified. 'It's a ghost,' they said, and cried out with fear. But Jesus immediately said to them, 'Take courage, it is I. Don't be afraid.' 'Lord, if it's you,' Peter replied, 'tell me to come to you on the water.' 'Come,' he said, as in Jesus. Then Peter got down out of his boat, walked on the water, and came towards Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, cried out, 'Lord, save me.' Immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. 'You of little faith,' he said, 'why did you doubt?'" Now, I start off with that piece of scripture because that piece of scripture there spoke to me with regards to faith and how faith in our life can help us overcome what we can deem or seem is impossible. That scripture there was basically Peter, one of the disciples, being in the boat, and they were scared because there was a storm that was happening, and they saw Jesus, and Jesus asked for them to come, to basically to step out of the boat and to walk onto water to him. But as soon as he started to focus on his surroundings, on what was going on around him, the wind, the high waves, everything that was crashing around him, he started to sink. And then crying out for help, and then obviously Jesus helped him out of the water to save him. Now, this is very much how it is in our own lives when we're going through our own personal storms, when we're going through our own trials and tribulations, when we have our things going on in life. And it doesn't matter if you're a Christian, it doesn't matter if you don't believe, it doesn't matter if all them things, you're still going to have problems, you're still going to encounter storms. It just makes it easier when you have faith in order to get through that storm. Because like Peter, what we end up doing is we go through our storms and we say, "Oh God, please help me through this, help me through this, help me through this." And then what we do is we end up then all of a sudden our focus is taken onto everything that's going on, into all the chaos that's going on in our lives. And then we start to focus on that. And then we start to focus on the negative, the bad, the chaos, all these different things that a lot of the time we can't control, but we end up focusing on. And then from there, we can end up getting into a bigger mess, and it can become very, very difficult, very, very hard to get ourselves out of these things. But when you do have faith, you can put that to one side. You can say, okay, yeah, I'm going through this storm and it's difficult, it's hard. It really, really is. And all of us will have our own ways of doing it. Even as a Christian, I struggle sometimes. I struggle with faith sometimes. Certain things will happen and I'll be like, everything in me just wants to do something. Be actively on it and do it. But you have to take a step back, and you do have to know that either it's happening for a reason. What is that reason? And if you don't know what the reason is, then hand it off to God and let Him show you what that reason is. Sometimes we can end up getting ourselves into messes, which you need, whenever you have problems, you need that hope. You need that hope in any of our storm situations, that things are going to get better. And faith is something that can really help you do that. Another scripture which shows that, which again, this is one to remember when you're going through it. And this is Psalm 23, my favourite psalm. Psalm 23, verse 4. "For even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Now, that verse, even though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, it doesn't say, you know, if I believe in God, I won't walk through the valley of shadow of death, or if I'm really, really good, I won't walk through the valley of shadow of death, or if I do this, I won't go through these things. You are going to go through trials and tribulations and storms, and the valley of death is there for us all to walk through. We all walk through it. But the comforting part in this is that your rod and your staff comfort me. That again is a faith verse. That's a faith verse. So you know that even though you're walking through this valley, even though you're going through these real tough, hard times, which, you know, like I said, everyone's own storms are personal. You know, everyone's own storms are personal. But everyone wants to be able to, in those storms, no one wants to sit there and go, well, you know, that's it, that's happened, and I'm just going to just wallow and that's it, you know, I'm just going to give up. Everyone wants that glimmer of hope, that way forward, that way through it, that's going to help them. Faith can do this for you. It's done it for me in my personal truth testimony. It's done it for me, where I've had faith that things are going to get, and God has shown me and done some miraculous things for me. So faith, and I'm just a person like you know, who goes through their own thing. So it's not that I am some special divine that God will only ever do things for me. God does things for everybody. Just sometimes we don't actually know or understand the reasons as to why he does these things, because his knowledge is a lot different to ours. Ours is very limited compared to God. So trying to work out sometimes why God does all the things he does is very difficult. However, faith will bring you out the other side, where you can hold your peace, because that's what you want to do. You want to be able to hold your peace. So you want to make sure, like I said, when you're going through the valley of shadow of death, have God with you. Have him with you, because he will walk you through. Another item of scripture, which is another faith verse, which I really like. And this is James 1, verse 2. So, actually, before we go to that one, won't go to that one just yet. We'll go to Matthew 17:20 first, actually. That's the one we'll go to. So Matthew 17:20. Because you have such little faith, I tell you the truth. If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. A mustard seed. Next time you're in your local supermarket, just have a pop along to one of the aisles and have a look at a seed, any seed, or next time you eat an apple or whatever, look at that seed and compare it to everything around you, your house, the car, whatever it is. And at the end of the day, within that, your faith just needs to be that. You just need to believe in God, just that amount. And just that will move it, because God will come to you and he will see that. Through prayer and through faith, God will give you that hope. And I'm not saying that everything is going to be rosy all the time, because again, like I said, our understandings of what we want, a lot of times God doesn't give us the things that we want or the things that we need. So I'm not downplaying anybody's storms out there, because everybody has their own storms and their own faith and their own life. From my perspective, and this is all just from my perspective, faith can help you get through, and it can help you. It can be the difference between you getting the job and not getting the job, from you, passing a course or not passing a course, for you rebuilding your life after a breakup to not rebuilding your life after a breakup and going down a really bad path. There are so many different ways and means that faith can help. So I would really encourage you to have a look. Just next time that you are going through that storm, think about in that boat, think about stepping out of that water, think about the fact of, by trusting in the process, by trusting in God, that you will be able to walk on that water and go through in order for that storm to pass and then for you to come out the other side. And now we get on to James. James 1 verse 2. Now consider it pure joy, my brothers, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith develops perseverance, and perseverance must finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete and not lacking anything. Storms aren't just there all the time to knock us into the ground. Storms sometimes can be lessons to learn. Storms sometimes can be ways to help us to grow. Help us to grow as a person. Help us to grow in our lessons on how we treat others, in what we do and how we live our lives. So sometimes when things happen, it's very easy for us as human beings to always go straight to negative, straight away. It's always very, very easy to do that. But let's flip it. What James here is saying is, consider it pure joy when you face trials of many kinds. Where my last storm that I had, my last trial and tribulation, it, at the time, did I understand why it was going on, why it happened, why it took place? No, I didn't. But now I can see that it was a lesson for me, and that it helped me to grow, and it helped me within my faith. It helped me to become a better person, and it helped me to really and truly see a lot of what life is and what people were that I surrounded myself with. It showed me a lot. And you know, I'll be honest, I am thankful that it happened. Yeah, I'm thankful that it happened, because like I said, for me, it's shown me the people in my life, the people who were there, the people who, the grass snakes that were there, that, you know, it showed me a lot. And I'm thankful for it. And even at the time when it happened, it was difficult. Man, it was difficult. However, I do thank the process. And I do definitely believe that God has used me in this, because there are, when I look back now at what could have been as to what's happening now, and the effects that I've had in different people's lives at different places since that's happened, has all been for the betterment. It's all been for the betterment, and I thank God. I thank Jesus that I'm here, and I'm still walking. I'm still fine. You know, I'm still fine. I'm still upright. I'm still walking forward in life, and I'm still walking forward in truth, and I still believe. And at the end of the day, that is something that wasn't taken from me. All for the grace of God. So, I just want to say to you today, and this video again is about faith, and like I said, sometimes when we're all going through it, it is so difficult. And we can't always, these are situations that are out of our control, not situations that we've made ourselves, got into it, and then we want God to bail us out. I'm saying about certain situations, certain storms that happen that we don't understand what goes on, and all we want to do is act out, do something else. Just know God is there. Keep the faith every single day. Keep the faith. Your storm will pass and you will be better on the other side. So, thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching another video of Truth Prevails. My name is Franklin Baxter, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.